Hey everyone, I'm going to focus on one idea that kept me moving forward when I didn't always feel like moving forward. And this idea is going to help you push past the obstacles you'll face in business and in life. And thankfully, this idea was introduced to me as a kid growing up. Something my dad always told me was if you don't like where you're at, then do something about it. Essentially, he taught me early on the importance of being radically responsible for your life. And that means all outcomes, the good and the bad. The more responsibility you accept, the better you'll respond to adversity. And the quickest way to become more adept at being responsible is by practicing cutting out blame, the need to complain, and all excuses, because these behaviors, they keep you emotionally stuck. They prevent you from doing all that you can do. Blame is not going to help you reach your goals. And you know you're practicing radical responsibility when you realize that the only thing you truly have control over in life is how you respond. Now, I had no idea as a kid how empowering this lesson would be later on in my life. So I wake up after my spinal cord surgery thinking I just had the worst nightmare of my life. And then my surgeon comes in, confirms that my nightmare is now my new reality. He tells me, Chris, you have a 3% chance of ever regaining any feeling or movement below the neck. And that's not a 3% chance to walk. It's a 3% chance to move or to feel. A 3% chance to scratch an itch on your face, to feed yourself. And at first I'm numb, and then I get mad. And I tell myself, no way, not me. This is not going to be my life. I'm going to beat the odds. I will not end up like the 97% who don't recover from this. I will do whatever it takes to be a member of that 3%. And so I get going to work, taking on this radical responsibility for my future. I do the only movement I can do, which was to nod my head yes and no. I nodded my head yes and no for hours. I looked like a giant bobblehead, just bouncing my head all around. Eventually, I shrugged my left shoulder. But despite the fact I can shrug my shoulder, I'm still a prisoner, trapped in my own body. Then trying to go to bed at night was the worst. There was nothing to distract my fears and doubts from coming out. I had so many questions like, will I ever meet a girl that would want to be with me? Will I ever be a dad and have a family? Will I ever be happy? And most nights I cried myself to sleep and I can't even wipe away the tears from my eyes. But as helpless as I felt, I knew I had to keep going because where I go in life, it's up to me in how I respond. And you'll never get rid of all your negative thoughts and feelings, but you can change your response to them. And over the next few weeks, I worked my way from 1 hour to 3 hours of physical therapy a day. And I quickly realized 3 hours is not enough. I need a fourth. I asked the hospital for a fourth hour, and they say no. I asked, well, why not? They tell me because they've only ever allowed is 3 hours. Eventually, I got that fourth hour. A couple more days go by, and I realize it's not enough. I need a fifth hour. I asked the hospital for a fifth. They say no again. This time, they meant it. I never actually got it. But instead, I had my physical and occupational therapist write up workouts I can do on my own outside of my scheduled therapy time. And here's the truth. Your future will take care of itself when you take care of today. And by taking care of one day at a time, I started to see results not just with my physical recovery, but also with my mental health. I eventually walked with assistance, met the love of my life with Emily, started a family, adopted 6 kids, fostered countless others, opportunities to encourage others by being a motivational speaker and starting the Chris Norton Foundation. This first idea of being radically responsible kept me going when I didn't always feel like going. And if you don't accept radical responsibility for your life, then it's going to be difficult to be resilient when times are tough, to find the motivation to reach your goals. You'll be tempted to sit back and relax as if life is some big Uber ride, just hoping you make it to where you want to go. And if you don't get there or something goes wrong, you might want to blame it on someone or something. However, if you truly take on this idea of radical responsibility for your success, your happiness, then effort and hope will start to come naturally You'll stop making excuses, and when you do experience a detour or setback, you'll find the resilience to work through it because you know it's up to you. You'll also have the courage to ask for help when you need it. When life doesn't go your way, don't get bitter, get better. And if you want the resilience to push past the challenges that you will face, then remember this idea and make the choice to be radically responsible.